No, I'm talking like this. Welcome to Respawn Render. I'm Blink.
I'm pluviiox.
And today we are doing a blast to the past movie extravaganza type thing.
As you can see, we do have we have Suzanne Collins' book, The Hunger Games, and actually, Blinky here has never watched them or read them.
Nope.
And for the
big old 2025.
And for the last few years, I keep telling him you should watch this. You should watch this, especially because your views and stuff like that really align to Katniss and just how the Capitol was. But what do you think?
Well, before I go in there, let me just throw in a little caveat. So it wasn't just you that kind of told me to start watching it. So my coworkers, so shout out to y'all, you know who y'all are, were basically hounding me for weeks on end, being like, "Oh my god, you need to read, you need to watch." I'm like, first of all, I don't know how to read, so I was like, I'm gonna do the movie part. But
okay,
I was still I was like, this is dumb, whatever. So I went in not knowing a single thing. I mean, nothing at all. I don't know any spoilers. I don't know nothing. So it's kind of cool to go into something finally for the first time in a long time and be like, I don't know a single thing at all. Before we go in that, let's just say our little book of the week. Got Berserk here. We're on Deluxe Book 11, so we're gonna be starting to read that. Left off with Guts in the group, Lady Farness, Casca, the whole 9 yards. What? Sharik, all of them.
Isn't Griffith your favorite?
You know what? We're gonna end this podcast real quick. They left off the boat to go to Puck's Island to hopefully help Casca, and they're on the ship with Ferdinand? No. Frederick? Yeah, Frederick.
You just asking me I've read the books.
I know. Who's, not a little caveat. Who, the Dire Wimpy kid, what's his brother's name?
Oh, Roderick?
Oh, Roderick, that's his name. Roderick's boat to go. Anyway, besides the point. And then you are reading...
I am still reading Supergirl, Women of Tomorrow, and Nightwing. I have not moved. I bought $100 worth of comic books, and I still haven't read most of them. But I've just been preoccupied with work and reading and stuff like that, other things. So yeah.
All right, perfect. So I have watched all 4 of the main movies, and I know that they're doing a bunch of prequels right now with President Snow coming soon, and then Haymitch. They just did a movie with President Snow's background, which I don't know if I'm gonna read that or watch it, but maybe. We'll see. I have a lot to say about the last few episodes or movies that will determine whether or not I stick with this series.
If you decide not to, I can tell you certain things about him that really reinforces his why he was so
I was crazy.
Yeah, but dude was crazy from day one. But the way that he hated Katniss was just ingrained in his past. The way that he ran things was because of what he went through. And he's not a victim by any means. Dude's been psychotic since day one, enthralled with power and stuff like that. Sounds like a few people right now we know in the real world.
Yeah. So I'll just start off and just get out my score. I think this movie's an 8.5 out of 10. Maybe
the first one.
Yeah, the first movie. We're gonna go through each movie, so I'm just gonna start with the first one, Hunger Games. 8.5 out of 10, and I'll basically just go through everything. I will say though, watching these movies, I did, and also talking to my coworkers about this because they wanted to hear the tea for every movie and how I thought about it. Because they said the exact same thing because they were like, Mark, the way you talk, I feel like you would really enjoy this movie.
It's so funny because every night I'll be there. But every night he's like, we have to watch another one. It's 2 a.m. He's like, because I need to finish it. And then the next morning you'd be like, well, if I didn't finish the rest last night, I'm gonna watch the last 30 minutes in the morning for work. Because he's like, I need to go to work with something else. I need to finish this.
Well, I was intrigued. I'm not gonna lie.
That's the first time we ever did a movie marathon like that. Usually it takes us we have to pick a movie and it takes us a month.
Yeah. I was intrigued. I was very interested in this movie.
It's giving me those vibes when I tell you, you should do legs in the gym, and you're just kind of I don't need those.
I don't need to do legs.
Let someone else do it. Hey, Mark, you should do legs. Let me tell you. I'm going to put it in the pod. It's that scene with Claire and Phil.
Oh,
you should try a wedge salad. And then she's been telling him for years to eat a wedge salad. And he's just nah.
I don't know what it is. Dude, it's every married couple, okay? It's just what it is. It's just wait, someone told me about this. Have you heard about this? Wait, you've been telling me for years? No way. There's no way. I would have heard.
Oh
Listen,
man.
I'm hearing you. I'm just not listening to you apparently.
Mm-hmm.
I will say though, I'm just gonna say my only downside about this whole series is, and my coworkers explained this as well. This series was made for young adults, like teens, right? So there's a lot of foreshadowing that's very obvious in the movie. Like, not to go into specific details, like specifically right now, but like, imagine they're like, oh no, I wonder if this red lever is gonna make the floor drop, and then they fucking do it, and the floor drops. It's like that type of foreshadowing,
Like Prim.
like Prim. Literally, again, like I said, I don't know anything about this movie. So the first thing we go in, I'm like, all right, here's the world. It's very desolate. We're in like a coal miner district 12, yada yada yada. Anyway, literally, they're getting ready for they call it
The Reaping.
the reaping, yeah, the reaping. And they're talking about it, and they're like, "Oh, Prim, doing your hair, you look so beautiful and stuff." And they're like, "Listen, your name's only in there once. What are the odds of you getting chosen?" I'm over here like, Why'd you say it like that? What do you mean? What do you mean one time? Anyway, so they go to the reaping.
Her author's so ass.
Listen, no disrespect. I would still love the series, but like, come on, man. It was so obvious. All along the whole way, it's just like back to back. I'm like, oh, I wonder if this is gonna happen. They're like, huh, this won't happen to us. Anyway, so basically, how it starts, they go to the reaping. Peter Millark gets called for the guys, which we'll find out more about him later and stuff. And then Prim gets called. So she starts walking, and Katniss is like, no, 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 no. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, what the hell is gonna happen? Like, we're gonna send like
Dude, I'm taking
10-year-old to fight
12, but
or whatever.
I know.
And then she goes, I volunteer as tribute. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. That's kind of badass. I ain't gonna lie.
That scene literally was the first, like, I don't know what do they call it, the first like cataclysm like to ever hit, because no one has ever in the history volunteered in District 12.
Nobody in anyone's family would ever done that.
No, like
it's interesting.
It's everybody to themselves, man.
I know, but I don't know.
It's cold.
I don't know what I would do.
You saw Peeta has 5 brothers.
Yeah.
You ain't hear nothing from any of them. The bakery was like, we got 5 more.
Someone gotta make the bread. Someone gotta make that dough.
No, and it was like, not only was it felt in their district, it was felt all the way into the capital. Like when Effie, like later on, says that was the biggest moment.
I forgot all about her. I'm gonna put her down.
When,
keep going.
No. When Effie was like the biggest moving moment.
Yeah.
Was that when she's there in the Capitol and she's at the stage with Caesar Flickerman.
Yeah.
And he's like, that moment you volunteered, it touched my heart. Like,
you know what touched my heart? The moment Effie stepped on stage. I was like, hold on, there's something about that. I don't know what it was, but there's something there. I'm like,
all the way from the Capitol.
Yeah. Every person that in the movie, I was like, all right, Effie's the one. Put her on the list.
Her and Haymitch.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that. That someone's getting hit.
I love.
So yeah, that basically happens, and they go through the whole process. Yada yada yada, and then we meet Haymitch, which I'll just say out front is probably my favorite character of the whole series, and the reason why is kind of like skip ahead or whatever, because I'm not gonna explain every single detail of the movie. From you giving information and stuff to me about Haymitch and his background a little bit,
without giving you too much,
because they don't really explain a lot. You kind of just have to infer like, hey, this guy was a previous winner. He's gonna be like kind of like your mentor basically, which is also messed up. It's like, oh,
relive your trauma.
You have to go through this, and then you got to keep on going through it through the rest of your life because you have to see the next generation go through.
But it's how they keep them in control, to keep reminding them over and over again that your life is not your own.
So during the not to like jump back and forth, but the reason why I like Haymitch the most is when Katniss is really messed up in the games and she doesn't have any really sponsors. He goes out. I literally say this. He literally goes out of his way to get sponsors and puts away aside his personal pain and suffering in order to help / protect Katniss, which is like so beautiful because we know now like Haymitch has been through like literally the thick of it, literally lost everybody he knows, yada yada yada, etc etc. And it's like he has to play nice with people that
he despises.
Not only despises, but literally are the reason why we have the Hunger Games in the first place. It's like I'm not gonna go there. So that's a little too deep.
So no, it's not as deep. Do you think you ever watched the Songbird of Snakes movie?
Maybe, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know yet.
Because when you really think about the Hunger Games, it's like so sick. Like, I want to tell you like why it started, like, but it's sick. Like,
I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about control.
No,
like, regardless of how it started, like
it was. Can I tell you?
No.
Okay.
I might watch it. I might watch it.
So
hold it in. Hold it in.
When you find out why the games were created and what kept them going, it's gonna make you like literally so disgusted. Like, you have to watch it, even though it's a prequel. And I know how you feel about prequels. It is a very monumental prequel.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it.
Is it out now? Like on DVD or streaming or something like that?
It's still streaming.
Okay.
It's on Prime.
I'll have to check it out.
And I think HBO Max.
One big thing about the first movie as well, I think one of the biggest scenes was, so at the very end of the several weeks, I think it's like 3 weeks, they get the train at the Capitol. They basically get put up for like a rating scale so that, they get better sponsors and so forth. Katniss shows up at the very end. She's like, "Hey, I'm District 12, Katniss, blah blah blah," and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna shoot my bow." She shoots her bow at the target and misses. Like,
oh, you were like, "Oh my goodness!"
I'm over here like, this is your one moment to get some support, and you whiff. You whiff a shot that's not even 20 feet away from you. Come on, dog. You're shooting birds the size of fucking acorns. All right.
You whiff.
Literally. So they laugh. They're all eating stuff. She looks up there at the game makers and a couple other, bureaucrats, whatever.
Seneca
blah,
Crane.
Yeah. And she decides to go, you know what? I'll get their attention. I'm going to shoot the apple inside the mouth of a roasted pig. Does that, they immediately stop. And they turn their whole attention to them, or her specifically. And she's like, bows and stuff. And she's like, oh, thank you. That subtle detail made her get an 11 out of a 10 scale.
12.
Did she get a 12?
I think it's from 11 to 12 is a scale because there's 12 of them.
No, I don't think so. I think it literally is. Oh, I don't know. Let's look it up. I think it's
actually you might be right.
I think it's a 1 out of 10 scale, and the higher you are, the better, I guess, sponsors or whatever your rating is. She's an 11 out of 10, which we already know, and kind of how we're going through this. President Snow is already mad about the game maker, just kind of like giving the districts more hope with even just showing off Katniss and such.
It is a 1 to 12 scale.
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Well, dang. Is she the highest ever?
Yes.
We'll take it. So that happens, which was insane in my opinion. Then what else do I have here? So we're just getting into the games, right? They go into the games. They have the catacorpia or the cornucopia in the middle, whatever. We find out there's mines everywhere. Also, you guys might not know this, but while I was watching the whole movie, and I was like, oh, this is what I would do. And then literally I would foreshadow it and it would happen. The first thing I said when we started, because that's what they do.
He would be like, if I had rope or something, I would sleep in a tree. She's sleeping in a tree.
Okay, no, it wasn't that. Just to jump around. I was like, oh, if you're going to sleep in a tree, you better tie yourself to the tree because you're going to move around in your sleep. And the last thing you need is when you're sleeping, fall out of a tree, you're like 500 stories in the air. And guess what? Katniss goes just like that. And you're like, how would you know that? I know that because I'd win the game, boy.
No, not only that, this dude, every time he sees like a gun, he's just like, hey, that's a P90, 3000, 6000 right there.
600, 300.
I don't know if you know that, but they have a revolver in that.
Well, I think they did that. I think they chose the guns. Just keep on skipping around because we love to skip around things. Yes, they used P90s, the like some type of MDR, type weapon. I think they chose to use that because they look like futuristic weapons, and it's kind of like they have futuristic tech. So I think that's why they chose. Yeah, basically, yeah. I forgot what weapon it was. What? I literally have to look it up real quick. Hunger Games, weapons. Literally, it's like the FN 2000, which they probably used all FN weapons to be honest, and one carbine.
What did you think about the arena? How it worked?
For the first movie, specifically, interesting.
Because you were like, if she got to the bounds, like you're like, what happens if you go that way?
Yeah, I was curious about that because I was like, oh, well. So we all know the only thing I know about Hunger Games is like literally from the very beginning. Everyone has heard about Hunger Games from Minecraft. That's kind of like the only thing I knew about it.
Oh.
That was the first battle royale before PUBG, Fortnite, all those games. There was Minecraft Hunger Games. Same concept, everything. Everyone starts, in the little big circle.
So the Battle Royale is just Hunger Games.
Yeah.
They took that idea from the Hunger Games.
I swear.
Y'all owe Suzanne Collins some money.
She started it all.
Y'all owe Suzanne
we would not have
Collins
PUBG
some
without
money.
Susan Collins. I'm just saying. FYI.
First of all,
put that in a short.
What?
I swear.
Y'all got some money.
Yeah, I swear.
First of all, she's such a G because she went through 54 publishers and kept trying to show this book, and people were like, no one's gonna want to watch or read something about children who are getting murdered. Well, and she's just like, no, like, this is way more than that. This is about, like, the government and stuff. They're like, yeah, no, cut it.
Yeah.
But look at her now.
Yeah. What were we just saying? I just lost my train of thought. We talked about...
You were talking about the arena and how the arena
works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the one question I asked, pluviiox here was, so how does the game maker get the contestants to kind of like get into fights? Because like most battle royale games, there's some type of environmental thing that pushes people closer towards the center just to get more action and such. Because we know at the end of the day, it is a game. It's not just them trying to survive or whatever. These games are being broadcasted not only the districts but to the capital as well, which sick. I bet the only people that are happy about this are the capital because they see it as a game. So I was like, oh, like, do they have like a fog or something or some type of thing? And, you explained to me like, oh, well, they'll use like the environment or like they'll just straight up kill you just so that if you're not kind of going with their program, they're kind of just be like, all right, just shoot like a fireball and like kill her and such, which they tried doing. But luckily she gets, she dodges everything. And then that's when like Hamish, like I said earlier, kind of goes in and starts, trying to talk to the capital, citizens to be like, hey, buddy up. So the games are going on. Peter starts to work with District 1 and a couple other district members. Kind of like, he's already weak, so he kind of has to play the role of like, oh, I'll just help you guys so like, low-key we can survive to the very end, which I already see it as a red flag. Like, that's like a selfish mindset in my opinion. Like, I get it helped him survive, he had to play the game, but it's disgusting in my mind.
It was more than that. He was with them because he was trying to keep distracting them from where she was at, until they actually did find her. But even then he's like, oh, let's just go to sleep and like wait her out, knowing that she can climb trees and stuff. Like,
she has survival skills. She has just like normal hunting skills. Then we meet Rue, which oh my god,
little Rue.
Oh, we literally meet her because she's in the tree and she's like, hey, they're sleeping below you and there's a bunch of tracker jackers. Cut the limb and then they'll get all messed up, which kind of messes Katniss up too. Which another thing is, I didn't realize these games can last days, weeks on end.
They'll cap it though.
Yeah, like, of course, because
interest.
Like I bet the viewerships are gonna go down if it lasts a month. Like no one's gonna watch for a month.
Yeah.
That goldfish
mentality. That Gen Z brain.
We meet Rue and such, and that it's a beautiful scene. Also, mind you, to this point, Katniss hasn't physically killed someone by her own hands per se. Yes, the tracker jackers did kill them, but she didn't really like.
That wasn't her intention.
No, that was definitely her intention. That was definitely her intention. She was stuck in a tree, which also, that's so dumb. They could have killed her immediately. Not that I wanted her to get killed. If they just walked backwards, because they were trying to shoot her literally standing on the bottom of the tree up. Like,
you think they're smart? They're arrogant.
True, but like I also think that the District 1 guy wanted to kill her with his own hands. Like, he didn't want just like anyone to kill her. Like, he wanted the satisfaction of being like, hey, I'm gonna kill the girl on fire. Like, I don't know, maybe. So that yada yada. Rue takes care of her, and then the moment she gets her first kill to protect Rue, she turns around and see Rue has literally a giant spear in her chest.
And the way that she cared for Rue, the way that she laid with her and sang to her, and then the way that she did the flowers around her, the love and the care that she showed, that they're not just pawns, that they're human beings.
They're not enemies. They're not. adversaries.
Like
they're just normal kids.
They're all like that's someone's baby, and like the way that it ignited the districts to start rioting.
I mean, immediately we see that Rue's father, I think it's their father, just starts acting a fool. Not a fool, but he
it starts like
he goes out of his way and he starts tearing the place up. And I don't know what district it is.
It's District 11, and so they're like neighbors.
Okay, 11. And then eventually on Rue's other partner, Thrash takes care of Katniss one time because like, oh, here's for Rue. And then yada yada. So basically the show goes on, and then at the very end, I think another crazy insight for me, other than I'll explain that in a second. When it is Katniss, Peter, and the guy from District 1, which I keep on forgetting his name.
Peeta?
Huh?
Peeta.
Peeta? Like Peter Malark?
It's not Peter, it's Peeta.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
For real?
Peeta.
It's not Peter?
Peeta.
Interesting. I didn't know that. All right, well, Peeta Malark.
No. And District 1, it's Cato.
Okay, Cato. They're fighting, and Cato realizes that like he's kind of like he's useless at this point. He knows he's gonna lose, and he grabs Peeta and holds him up. He's talking to Katniss, and he's like, "Listen, just end my life because I'm like." He knows now that even if he wins, that there is no true winner.
Dead anyways.
Which we'll find out later in the second and third and fourth movie that like, oh, even if you win, the contestants are basically being sold off for God knows what, whether being used physically or mentally by the Capitol members and bureaucrats.
Which is also sick.
Like, which hashtag Finnick, that's my boy.
Finnick.
So basically, the first movie ends with them basically doing a tie. Which I never thought about that beforehand. Say if both your members from the district win, back then they would still kill each other.
Yeah.
Which is wild, like, to even think about.
It's like one of us gonna go home.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
They would no. They've never.
I didn't like that.
They've never let a tie go by, and that's why. Seneca was kind of weak from the beginning, because mind you, he started elevating Katniss. Like, if you got to think from President Snow's point of view, like when she volunteered, strike one, it was like, oh, now the districts are looking at you like you're some type of person, like you're some type of hope beacon. Strike number two is when she came on the scene on fire, her outfits like literally flaring up. She's a spark in the middle of no sea of no one. Huh?
You said Senna? What?
Seneca. Seneca's the game maker.
Oh, yeah.
So when Seneca started like elevating her, if I was Snow, I would have freaking smacked that down. Like, and then also what doesn't help is when he gave her the high score.
Yeah.
It in his head, he's probably like, "Oh, she deserved it." He's like, "She threw an arrow at your head."
That just shows that through generations that, again, for President Snow's perspective, it's about control. But when you grow up generations, people just believe this is the way of life. So they're like, "Oh yeah, of course." Like they don't realize like how fragile control really is, which he explains a lot. Maybe a little bit in the first one, but definitely a lot in the second movie. Which, again, at the very end, he basically kills his ass. He's basically like, "Hey, either I kill you or you take these and kill yourself." Which he eventually just hangs himself because he refuses to eat poison berries. Which leads into the second movie, which is Catching Fire. Okay, perfect. So Catching Fire. Let me scroll up real quick. Boom. Just start off. Gave the first movie an 8.5. I would give this one an 8. I think there's definitely some better moments in the first movie than the second movie, but I still liked it a lot. My caveat in the 0.5 is, I'll say just straight up, I do not like shows where like maybe the main character has multiple love interests. It just seems distasteful in my opinion.
It's so like early 2000s, like
love triangle stuff. That's stupid in my mind.
I just think I think there's a better way for people to do that, but like it's such a grab. Like Twilight, The Vampire Diaries, Divergent, like
Avatar. It's there, but I still disagree with it. But that's another story of its own. It's there. It's there. You just don't realize it.
I don't want to acknowledge it.
Exactly.
I didn't want to acknowledge it because I didn't believe in it.
Oh, but what about Griffith? Yeah, it hurts, doesn't it?
I heard that she actually...
Okay. Stop it. Anyway, so I don't like that in one scene that Katniss would be kissing on Peeta, which again we know that she's playing a bit because she's eventually learning how to play the game, but she's also all up on Gale as well.
Yeah, I don't like that.
In the beginning, if you would have asked me just from this base level like acknowledgement, she should end up with Gale in the first place because the obsession and love for Peeta and Katniss was just Peeta.
Yeah.
He was a stalker.
Yeah.
Straight up.
I mean,
he was a stalker.
What about us?
Hey, yo. Not at all.
But like, sorry.
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't like that. Like, it was just,
I don't either. I just feel like when it came to Gale, he never really like showed his feelings to her. Like they were friends. Like, and in the books, they're like best friends. Like they're close. But it wasn't until Pia started stepping in his toes that he's like, oh, let me just show her my affections now. And so like, Katniss, she's also like has wounded bird syndrome, so she's kind of like, oh, I have to take care of Peeta and look after him. And that's something that when I was growing up and reading the books and watching the movies, I just could not. A lot of people are like, I love Peeta. I just couldn't get into Peeta, but I also equally did not like Gale. Yeah, because Gale was all about like,
I'm a dude, so none of them were.
Oh, Gale, like in your face is all like, I'm here for you, I love you, but he's everything he hates. Yeah, and he does eventually become everything he hates. So it's just kind of like
eventually, but
Peeta never gets strong, in my opinion. I mean, he does. I just feel like he's always needing to be taken care of. I'm just like, dang.
Yeah, I didn't like it, but I bet if I was a teenage girl when these movies came out, I'd probably been like, oh my god, oh my gosh, which one to choose from?
I was gagged whenever she would kiss him, and then 2 scenes later, kiss Peeta.
If I was Gale, I would have whooped his ass.
And then she would turn around and be like, I just don't know how I feel right now. Like, I have too much going on.
I will say, though, you're saying, like, they didn't really express deeply, but you also understand, like, Gale kind of did in the beginning, but it's very difficult because they both have to take care of people. In this world, it's hard to just start loving someone because any moment they could die. Yeah. So it's a lot of burden to, like, not saying love's a burden, but like you have to understand for someone's mental psyche, like
I mean that's what she said too.
Yeah, these kids don't have time to worry about other people. They have to worry about themselves at the moment.
Yeah, because like why would you want to bring a child into the world just for them to accidentally get raped?
Yeah, exactly. Then basically through the movie, President Snow comes to District 12 to talk to her, which I really love this scene because he's like, Katniss. Katniss. I don't know how to do his voice. He's got a deep voice. Yeah. He's just like,
it's like deep and proper.
Yeah. He's like, let's not sugarcoat it. You be honest with me, and I'll be honest with you. Yeah. And he's messing with his little flower and stuff. He's basically like, you need to not prove the districts about your love with Peeta. You need to prove it to me because that's another indication that it's not about the districts or the capital. It's always about control for President Snow. He could care less if the people believe. He wants to personally believe because he sees the lies in the media, basically, which not to get into conspiracy theory. He sees the lies in the media. They'll be like, oh, they love each other, but he sees through the BS. He's like, I know the truth. I know that you're a survivalist. You're here just to survive. You'll do anything to keep staying alive. But prove it to me. And he just leaves it at that. And he's like, here's your rose. Adios. And then just leaves. Mm-hmm. And if I walked home and I saw President Snow, boy, you better shoot me now because I've been dead. Oh.
Yeah, he's like, at what rate did he realize your indifference? And she's like, we're not indifferent. He's like, don't lie.
Yeah. Which I think at that point, I don't think President Snow ever lied to her once, but he's also crazy. But like, I think she had to like somewhat lie because she's also scared. Yeah. I mean, she could be killed at any moment.
I mean, the dude went as far as to blow up their district. Yeah. He don't care.
So for the next games, she goes around each district with Peeta to be like, la la la, I love the world, I love the districts. President Snow's the best.
They bump up on the first one. Yeah. They get to Rue's district and they're listening, and then they put away the cards Effie made for them, and they offer another form of rebellion. They offer their money that they won to them, and they're not allowed to do that. That's once again defying the capital, defying the rule system. And then she speaks about Rue, and what happens is that symbol of like the Mockingjay, they do it, and then all of a sudden someone's dead.
Yeah.
And it's just like, they're like, hey, if you want to pacify the districts, like, you're not doing a great job at it.
Yeah. Haymitch is like, girl, I'm gonna be honest with you. You're really messing this up right now, and I also don't want to die. Start reading the fucking cards.
But also, Katniss is so selfish because Snow threatened her family, but didn't even tell Peeta. And Peeta was like, I wouldn't have done that if, like, you had said something.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, like, you never see his family
really
in the movies ever.
They didn't really talk to each other because they're so distant. So, like, it wouldn't even make sense if she even said anything.
Yeah.
She wants to keep her distance anyway. She doesn't love Peeta at this
point. I
point.
mean, they went a full year without talking to each other.
Girl, we went through hell and back. I wouldn't talk to them at all. Yeah, they go through each district. They're talking to them, you know, doing their speeches and stuff. But they realize even by the very end, at the last one, they're literally just rioting in front of her, and she completely just whiffs the whole thing. Anyway, they turn out it's 25th or the 75th anniversary, so they're gonna do the quarter quelling. Quarter quell. Whatever.
I don't mean to keep correcting you.
It's not you. It's not you. It's the dumb words and making.
I mean, they make up a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of it, like, their names even. Like, Katniss's name is based off of plants that grow by the water, which is really relevant to the first movie. Prim's name is a rose that grows in the forest, like, where Katniss, like is usually abundant. Like, their names all mean something. So, like, all the names are just weird because it's, like, this different type of universe that they're in.
So that happens, then they basically find out they're being put back into the games, which everyone's pissed. Everyone. And I will say, though, I do love seeing all the other winners from each district. Also, what a weird, who's the guy from Reacher actor?
Oh, he's like in District 1.
Alan Richardson, isn't it?
He's in District 1.
Dude, this dude... Oh, even back then, he was still big before he got on the juice. Let's be honest, gentlemen. He was big natural, but dude, seeing him in his baby face, oh, it's so funny. Because now he's in Reacher, and he's like, literally like...
He looks like a grown man. What are you talking about, baby face?
He is not... Look, Alan Richardson in Hunger Games literally has a baby face. Dude, that is baby face.
Blue face, baby. Oh, okay. I guess
he's such a baby, but he's also huge.
Yeah, he's huge here.
But that's natural. Like, but now he's on that A-ball. Anyway, loved meeting all the other new characters. Lenny, he's so funny. I literally made fun of this because
who's Lenny?
The guy with the glasses who killed like 6 people.
You mean Beezus?
Huh? I think his name's Lenny.
Beezus?
Isn't his name Lenny? Oh, Lenny Kravitz is Senna. My bad. God dang it. I did this again. God dang it. What's his name?
It's Beezus. It's Beatty. Sorry. It's
Beatty.
Beatty and Wyrus. They're from the same.
Which also, Senna is probably one of my favorites.
I love Senna. But if I couldn't bet, I'd bet on you.
Beatty is literally like...
Who the hell's Lenny?
Benny is literally like laughing at Katniss like in like a arrogant way. He's like, you can't tell that it's electromagnetic field that they have right there because like remember last game you did, Katniss, you shot an arrow and now they got a force field. He's like, I'm like, bro, shut.
And Wyrus is like, it might as well just have a sign there.
Bro,
like,
that boy got that tism.
They both do.
That boy got that tism. Like, you didn't know that actual fact. I'm like, oh.
No, but he does. He does do that. With his glasses.
He's like,
yo,
you don't know the quantum realm.
No.
He's always cleaning his glasses. He's like,
but aren't you?
Not like that.
Okay.
He'll be like this. He does this. He does a little 2-finger like, you didn't know the electromagnetic field right there?
Brother.
Look at the glimmer.
What does Joanna call them? Nuts and bolts.
Yeah, nuts and bolts. Love their character dynamic. Also, TikTok girl. She's like, TikTok.
Yeah, because she got cracked, man.
All I can think about is TikTok from Joji. TikTok looking like a wristwatch.
That scene where Joanna Mason comes into the elevator, you were completely like, you were like, what is she doing? And that's how she is.
Not to cut you off, but that song's like, girl, don't stop feeling away. You and I, we are one and the same, loving and pain. Anyway, so
back to the pod.
Yeah. All right. So the elevator scene. We gonna talk about that?
I just did.
Dude,
while you were singing.
Dude, we gonna talk about that? We're gonna talk about the big elephant in the room. When that happened, I was like, First of all, how old is she? Because I know Haymitch is like 50 million years old.
Let's do it again sometime. Nice. Well,
he liked it.
She's got to be in her late 20s because she's aged out of the games.
True. Yeah, that scene was wild. Love Senna. Love the golden.
Oh yeah, eyeliner fleck.
Eyeliner, yeah, that's so cool. I liked it a lot.
That too.
I would do that. I think that was pretty cool.
I wish that so Flavius and Octavia are the two who are like hosing her down and like making her always look good. In the books, that team has such a big family dynamic for Katniss. So anytime she's in the Capitol, they're immediately at her side. They're immediately watching over her. You do see them whenever they come to the house and they get her ready for like the little camera show. But like you don't really get a lot of relationship for them. But like they actually all have a huge family dynamic. So like when Cinna dies, like it's such a big like it's such a big like moment because like their family loses a very vital member, and then you don't see them again.
It's not that he just died.
Yeah, he's beat to death,
bro. Which you explained to me that on if like you have the physical media, it goes from widescreen to full screen.
And we have the physical media, so you could see it.
Yeah, I want to rewatch it.
It's sick. It's like
we watched it on stream platforms, but we have the movies now.
When you watch it, how they had it set up in the movie theaters and on like TVs and stuff is that scene when Katniss is going up into like the vessel and she comes out. It goes from widescreen to full screen. It's like,
which honestly would set the tone because she Cinna basically does his usual thing like, here's your pen, girl, like
I bet on you.
Anyway, yada yada yada. And then she turns around and then she sees that the Capitol are beating the little living crap out of him. And she's got to go up now. Or she's already like messed up in the head. But now she's going up with one person she cares about already killed. And she goes in the game, full screen, everything. She's looking, waves are crashing, the rocks, the center with all the stuff.
She dives in.
Which I don't remember. Was there podium in the middle of the water of the triangles? Or... Because I think everyone dives to get to the rock columns.
So, there are podiums like this, and then there's rock columns that they could walk on, but they just they jump.
I think it's in the water.
I think it's in the water.
Because I was thinking I didn't see a single person like run straight to the rocks. I think everyone swam to the rocks to get to the middle, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right. I think they were in the middle. Yeah, they're in the middle of the water, and the rock separates them like a pie.
Yeah. In this movie, the one thing I did predict already.
There's 2 per pie.
Okay. One thing, because they had 24 contestants this time. If I'm not mistaken, there was 24 people.
There's always 24, because there's 2 that come from the districts.
Oh, you're right.
I'm like, hold on, Fred.
But there is 2 winners per district, though.
1 winner.
There's 2 winners in each district that are in this game.
That were previous winners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
all victors. It's a pool of victors. Yeah. You got me confused. I was like,
dumb,
what?
But also, I was thinking as well, like, oh, it's 24, like a clock. Anyway.
24 hours.
The one thing I did predict for this movie was I was like, oh, I wonder if one of the things are going to be monkeys. Like, we're in a jungle.
He's like, can you imagine?
I was like, it's either a giant snake or a monkey. And then... do I see a red booty baboon walk into the screen like, ooh, ooh, ooh? I'm like, oh, come on, man.
I'm
so
like, how
predictable.
do you always, like, he's like, literally,
so predictable.
every 2 seconds, if I was in this movie, I'd do this. And it would happen. I'm like, can you just watch the damn movie?
Oh, I forgot to say, not to cut it off. The last movie, where I didn't finish what I was saying, with the mines. They took the mines and used it offensively instead of defense. Oh, I guess defensively. Whatever. Point is, she blew up the whole everything with the, anyway.
And you also called out, you were like, whenever Foxface ate the berries, you're like, the only person I know who's going to probably be dead is Foxface because she's been tracking all of them.
Yeah, because how did I forget that? Foxface from the very first movie, the whole time was just running around Katniss, kind of like going first on everything, whether it's going to the cornucopia to get all the whatever she needed. And then I was like, I bet Peeta Malark's picking berries and she's gonna be like, oh, he's over there, let me grab a little bit from that. Just like that. All right, second movie, that happens. Finnick's taking care of the old lady. They're all kind of working together trying to figure out like, oh, how can we get out of this and such. And they get through the fog, whatever. The fog kind of messes them up, and the lady kind of like sacrifices herself, which honestly I didn't really feel it that much, even though whoever the Finnick actor is, dude, he is fantastic. He showed a lot of emotion.
Oh, I love him. He's so good.
So good.
He's an amazing actor. He was in a movie that that was called Me Before You.
Mm-hmm.
Tearjerker, that one.
He's pretty good.
And he had Emilia Clarke, who plays Daenerys Targaryen in that movie too. It's really good. That's a good one.
Interesting.
Yeah. Sam Clifton, I think his name is.
I will say though, the only thing I didn't like about the second movie was how did she know how? Okay, so we find out that like, hey, we know that at certain times each quarter of the clock map something happens in that quadrant, right? And they find out that at some point at noon or midnight, whatever, that lightning strikes a tree. So like, oh, we're gonna use that electricity to kill everybody that's left. But when that happens, we find out that which I don't know if this was trying to like show Katniss what she's capable of doing, but he takes a spear with copper wire and tries to throw it at the shield, and it basically blows his ass up. Beatty.
Mm-hmm.
And he's unconscious on the ground. But then at that moment, she kind of looks up, and she's like, "Oh, I'll just take an arrow and do the same thing, but to the sky." Like, what made her think of that? Like, I would have never thought of that. Not to like say like, oh, because I didn't think it wouldn't happen, but like I didn't understand that part. Like, or was it more of like a symbolic thing? She was like trying to be like, oh, F you to the game makers. I'm gonna shoot this arrow and kill myself. I don't know. That's the problem. I don't understand.
Wait, so what are you asking?
Like, why would she even take an arrow, wrap a wire around it, and shoot it into the sky?
Well, that was like her last like form of like rebellion. So their goal was to do that, and it wasn't gonna work. Like everyone seems like everything was falling apart. And then when Finnick said, "Remember who the real enemy is," it like locked her back into place. That first moment she did get into the arena, because at that point they were already like. She was telling Peter, like, we gotta go. We gotta leave. We gotta leave these people behind. Because she started realizing, like, started falling back into that trap. Like, they're my enemy. These people are my enemy. When none of them are the enemy. Like, even at the very end of the third movie, the ones who were hunting them down from District 2 are at the round table together. So none of them are the enemy. It's the bigger enemy. So that's why she took the arrow in that moment and wrapped the wire and shot at the arena. Because she was just like, you don't own us. Like, if we're going down, you're going down with us.
Also, when all that, you're right about that. It was basically her trying to remove the conditioning of, hey, this isn't a game. Like, she needs to remind herself, like, hey, like, you're not here to kill people. Like, you gotta get your headset out of the game or whatever. The girl that took all of her clothes off, she stabs Katniss, which I thought she was going rogue. But she was actually taking the tracker out of her arm.
Mm-hmm. And they were all in on it. Like,
yeah, that's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time they were in on this whole big plan that Effie and Haymitch and even the Game Maker were in. Which, dude, that
Effie
Game Maker
didn't know. She was in the dark.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
They probably couldn't trust her because she is a capital citizen, but like she definitely sees it. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of people that want change but are comfortable in
where they are
now. It's like it's kind of like most Americans now. Not to go into deviation, but it's like a lot of us Americans want change, but we're so comfortable where we are that we refuse to take steps in the right direction. Like, we look at other examples in other countries like Nepal, like they overthrew their government because they were tired. They were enough. They were like, we're done with this. We're tired to let our government take control of our lives, our money, everything. Culturally, socially, whatever you want to call it.
We need that.
Yet in America, we pride ourselves with revolution. Yet when the time comes,
we're so mean.
We don't even cry about it. We basically go, oh, change would be nice, but nobody wants to take the step forward for it.
I mean, that's also us as well. Was like, our foundation was never that. We took change.
Yeah. Anyway, now sidebar.
Yes. Yeah, like Joanna seemed like really psychotic, but half the tributes were in on it, as Haymitch said, but they couldn't tell certain tributes because Snow was watching them, and they didn't trust them.
What is that? Some of the districts, like especially District 1.
Yeah, they're wound up with the capital.
So basically we find out that the game was rigged for the good since the beginning, and Katniss gets saved, and they find out like, hey, our goal was to save you from the very beginning because we're going to use you for the revolution, and we're going to District 13, which prior to this I thought was gone because they talked about how District 13 did try to revolt against the Capitol and they lost. Turns out that wasn't necessarily true. They just went into hiding for all these years, which
Which honestly, I feel for Katniss because from the moment she literally gave Peeta the berries, they were like, that's the one. She's gonna light the rebellion. She was forced into a role that she didn't want to be in.
That goes into the last two movies, which I'm gonna bunch together because I think the last two movies are literally the worst of the whole series, in my opinion. I would give both of them a 6, alongside. I'd rather. Let me think about this real quick. I would rather watch Jurassic World Rebirth than Part 2 again. Part 2 is so bad. There is no redeeming factor to that because, and I'll get into that in a second, but let's just go to the first part. First part was all right. Katniss went crazy though. She's absolutely full blown in mania. They have to even get her in the tunnel like, oh, Katniss, you gotta come back, and she's like, 5 more minutes, straight jacket, and it's like,
but she's 16.
I understand that, and I do understand that she didn't want to be put in place as the main picture of the revolution. But I feel like the last two movies contradict the first two movies, which I don't like.
Oh, well, they built her up. Different.
They built her up to this entire moment just to use her as like a war model propaganda. It kind of reminds me, and we talked about this in the first Avengers movie, or like not first Avengers movie, but the Captain America movie. Instead of having Rodgers go out and fight in the war, they just used him and girls to be like, oh, hey, and use propaganda. He is a literal war machine. And he can go fight for the right cause, but y'all want to use him to dance on screen and be like, fight the revolution, viva la revolution. Like, it literally contradicts everything she fights for.
But then that's why at the very end, when she sneaks out, it's so monumental because she tells them, like, I need to be there. And they're like, no, you've done what you needed to do.
It's even more than that, because up to this point, she's like, because they tell her, hey, after y'all escaped, they destroyed District 12. It doesn't exist anymore. So she's like, I've already seen death before, but, I don't understand the vast of it. I need to go see it in person. Really? Really? This whole time? You've known since day one that this whole game is bad because people die. A few people die, but you need to see thousands of people die to really believe it? It feels like they lost Susan Collins literally lost the plot. Or maybe I lost the plot.
I don't think she lost it because the books have way more. Like, when you read the books, like, you follow Katniss a lot better.
Granted, it could just be how the movie makers made it, but because I only watched the movies, I feel like they lost the plot of Katniss because it makes me so upset because they took some girl that taught herself that, hey, that she could make change, and then they just threw her away to use her as war propaganda. Just felt like it was so distasteful. It was like, and it's so funny is she kind of reminds me of, and also make a short of this one because it's gonna be funny. It kind of reminds me of the College Humor skit about how it's about Batman, and they say like, oh, Batman doesn't kill, but in this skit, Batman kills every person he sees, and Penguin's like, Batman, you just killed him. He's like, I didn't kill him. He's just sleeping. Katniss literally is like, she kind of reminds me of Batman a little, where she's like, oh, I refuse to kill people, but then goes to one of the districts and blows 2 planes out of the sky with bows.
I just really feel like they did her character an injustice in these movies because she's a very strong character. She just has like a lot of and she does have a lot of trauma, but it's not her fault that she's always used as a pawn, whether it is by the Capitol or by District 13, which is what she comes to terms with, and that's why she freaking knocks out Coin at the very end because she's just like she says it to the people in District 2, which made them surrender. Yeah, she's like, I'm done being a pawn. Like, you guys keep using me, no one sees me.
Yeah, I agree. That being said, I felt like she should be on the first. She should be on the front line. All right, we're just gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that. Yeah, we're just gonna.
Please.
We'll see. Anyway,
please.
So hold on. Let's just keep on going. So I didn't like how they just immediately just throw her as like this little. She kind of reminds me of like I don't know what the right word is, but she was just a pinup doll of this revolution. It was as simple as that. You okay?
Sharp pain in my chest.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But
for real.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I will say, whether in the books and in the movies, I don't like that they kill Finnick.
Also, I
just don't feel like his death added anything.
Also, I feel like another thing why I didn't like the last two movies is up until this point, every single thing that President Snow did was so calculated. Like, he honestly could have killed Katniss easily, but I feel like he was just toying with her. Maybe by the end, I feel like the reason his downfall was because of his arrogance, but I don't think he's an arrogant man. I think he's really calculated and smart. Like, he doesn't just do things out of just a whim. Everything is to a point.
Yeah.
So like every single thing that was adding up made no sense. Like when they attacked District 13, he could immediately have blown through the bunker, but he didn't.
He tried to.
No, I think he could have, because if he did, he wouldn't have dropped all those roses there. He was making a statement, being like, "Hey, we could kill you right now. Here's roses."
Well, like he said, what got him was he didn't expect them to kill children, because that he would never kill. He's like, I'm not above killing people senselessly.
Yeah.
He doesn't just do it to do it. But
which also
when they
is
killed
a lie.
the capital children,
Yeah.
it turned everyone against him. Whereas at that point, people were still on his side.
Yeah.
But Coin didn't care. She was like, everyone goes, like, for me to win.
I will say, though, the only crazy plot twist that I wasn't seeing was Prem dying at the very end.
Yeah, that one broke everybody. It
Like,
broke hearts.
It was like she was kind of like for Coin, it was a necessary casualty because they wanted
full control over Katniss.
They not just that they wanted the people to see that the Capitol was killing it. You know what it actually reminds me of? We're gonna get into this. Ooh, we're gonna get into this. So we know there's a war going on somewhere specifically. We'll just keep it low key because Google and stuff. Yada 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 yada.
What?
Yeah.
There's a war happening in.
We're gonna keep it low key because there's a reason for this. So we know the Geneva Convention. Everyone knows that with war. Regardless if you believe that war should have rulers or not, that's not the point. We have legislative law in place for this, specific reason. Yada yada yada. Killing medics is a very big no-no, regardless of any war that's going on. If you kill any medic, that is like number one high rule, like your ass is going to war for war crimes. Yet they chose in this movie to show that to even further prove why the Capitol was evil, even though it wasn't the Capitol, but they used Capitol ships in order to prove a point. Coin sacrificed her own people, her own medics, just to prove a point that, hey, we are actually the saviors. But she did that in order for her own benefit. Yeah. For anything for control.
And it was Gale's plan.
Yep. Which we find that out because he's talking to Beatty, being like, all right, we use this calculated move. And he's like, oh, yes, the glimmer. Yeah, that's a big no-no. You shouldn't do that. I think we kind of figured that out. But that kind of turned Katniss back a little bit. But then when she realized the true at the table, and she's like, oh. This movie just honestly just pisses me off.
The scene that when she's turned away from them and it's Peeta and Gale talking, I could have sworn that it was just like the book, but it wasn't. Because in that scene, they sit and they talk to each other, and he's like, "Oh, I'll kill you myself," blah blah blah, like macho. But that's not what happened. So when they're talking about like, "Oh, like she can't choose between us," and they basically make a deal. They're like, no matter what happens, at the end of the day, if she picks you or she picks me, like, we walk away. And Peeta was essentially just like, it doesn't matter as long as she's happy.
Also,
which gives me so much like Edward Cullen, because Edward didn't care that Jacob was crouching on his girl. He cared about the fact of like him, or if it was Bella's consent, which Jacob never did. Which I will get into that later, another time.
I do not like the whole sleeper agent vibe with Peeta as well. Whatever. Like again, President Snow kept on making these weird. And again, maybe it's just a movie, and maybe I just expect more villains to be more powerful. But
they're just humans.
Yeah, I understand that, but I don't think I understand how smart President Snow is. And I'm not saying that in like oh my god, he's so smart. Like I'm just saying like he's in this position for a reason. He's not dumb. Yeah, he chooses to keep on making dumb mistakes that don't make sense to also his character as well. But like
also like, is he smart? Because mind you, he entrusted Seneca to be game maker. And at any point, he could have killed Seneca the moment he just... Remember, he had several meetings in his garden with Seneca where he kept telling her, like, hey, you better control this. You better control this flame of hope.
Maybe I'm giving him
didn't.
Too much credit.
And then, in the second movie, he's talking to Plutarch, and he keeps telling him, like, I want her dead. I want her cannon in the sky. At any point, like Plutarch could have made that happen, but he just kept putting his trust into Plutarch, and then guess what? Moves and counter moves later, he realized that he was played. But if Snow really wanted things to happen the way he should have just did it, but he didn't.
True. Maybe I'll give him too much benefit of doubt, but like even so, like even making PETA a sleeper agent, like he kept on also. I don't know. I didn't like it, not because it wasn't a good idea, but it's just like it was just a dumb idea on that part. Like, why would you make a sleeper agent to kill Katniss? Like, there's so many other choices.
It's not even about like it's like yes, he could kill Katniss, but it's about control. Like this thing that you say you care about the most, like just know that I control his mind. I control everything about him.
Yeah.
And that like if anything were to ever like occur, like whatever, like he basically broke PETA. Like so like no one's untouchable.
Which is also crazy that they use Tracker Jacker Venom to basically like mess with his meld his mind and stuff.
Hijacking.
Which I think that's pretty cool. That's some pretty cool stuff. I ain't gonna cap. What we didn't talk about was the TV show host guy.
Caesar? Steer Flickerman. What about him? Phenomenal actor.
Yeah, he is actually a very funny actor.
Yeah, seeing him funny.
He is so funny.
He horrified me as a child. He was in this movie called The Lovely Bones, based on a book. If you know that movie, brother, he is bone chilling in that. When I tell you that movie messes me up to this day, I rewatched it recently, and brother, I tell you, like he is literally. It took me until seeing him in the Hunger Games to like him. Like, and you should never ever compare someone's role to who they are as the actor. But anytime I would see him in another movie, I would get immediately traumatized. But I love him. His acting's that good.
Oh, you okay? You okay? Are you okay? Oh my gosh. Are you good? Oh my gosh. I can see he's
Wow.
What the heck is this dude's name? Stanley
Tucci.
Tucci. He is so funny.
Tucci.
Another
I don't know.
Another good movie he's in is which is so weird, but he's in Transformers. He is so funny. He is so funny. This dude is so funny. It's one of those things where like you wouldn't expect an actor to be funny, but then when they're put in like comedic roles, dude, they are killer. Loved his character. I kind of wish they showed more of him at the very end. They kind of just used him as like a news anchor update of being like, oh hey, the separatists or like the resistance, they're breaking into the walls, blah blah blah. This is what
his dad was. Oh, if you watch the first one, he follows in the role. His dad was like the first showman.
Oh, I know that. I did not know that at all. So yeah,
you didn't really care for the epilogue.
The very end. I didn't care because I didn't like what they did with Katniss' character. Like a lot of the characters' stories.
She's a very controversial. Like a lot. You're not alone because the whole Hunger Games fandom really does feel that way about her. It just didn't make sense. It just felt like they took a character that they built up for the last two movies, and then they took the last two to like completely change her whole identity. Because like she went from like, oh, we're gonna go against the Capitol to like, I can't do it. No, killing's wrong. It's like, what? Are you for real? We're not gonna pretend like you just shot aircrafts out of the sky, which is G shit. Like you said that too. Like if I had the explosive arrow, I'd shoot one of the crafts out of the sky.
I get that from Far Cry. I'm not gonna cap. Far Cry definitely do that. So yeah.
But I don't think she's also wrong though, because when when Coin has the audacity to be like, I think we should host a symbolic Hunger Games. You're just repeating the cycle.
She knew that, but she was just trying to gain trust from Coin.
No, I know that, but it's just like I feel like that. Yes, on that hand, but like Katniss kind of realized like it's senseless. Like killing so is senseless.
Yeah, what I didn't understand was all right. So
also, we gonna run past the fact that PETA literally killed one of their members and pushed him in like the black goop.
Yeah, I don't understand. Again, there's a lot of things I don't. Oh, Marshall Ali in it as well, dude. This movie has so many good actors, but whatever. I will say Marshall Ali, fantastic. Can't wait to see him as Blade if that eventually happens. I love it. Before he, passes away, he tells Katniss like, because he knows like, even though he's loyal, but he knows what's right and wrong. He tells Katniss, Coin is not who you think she is.
Do what you came to do.
Yes. So eventually at the very end, I kind of skip forward. Both movies are 6. Gale is evil.
He's not evil.
He is. He's 100% evil.
Yeah, the way that he talks, he's like, yeah, I'd kill everybody. I'd kill the whole room.
He's willing to sacrifice the innocent if it meant for freedom.
Yeah, and the way that he was like, it's like a wolf's den. We can flood them out or something like that. Make them trapped, cut them off. She's like, you'd kill so many people, and he's just like, so
dismissive about life.
And that's why at the end of the day, everyone in the fandom turned to PETA, because PETA is like a Superman character in a way. Yeah. He values every life.
Yeah,
he values everyone. The way that he held the District 5 morphling and had her look at the sunset, like the way that they see people as humans.
Yeah, it annoys me just thinking of the last two movies. What I was trying to say at the very end is eventually they have the meeting and they're like, hey, which I already knew the big red flag, because I was questioning Coin's motives, because the way everything she was doing, I was like, all right, something seemed a little sus, which come to find out, she was like all for power. She's like, things are a little hot and heavy. And it kind of reminds me of Hamilton a little bit, where Washington's like, oh, we can't get into another fight because, I don't know if it was Lafayette or was it Thomas Jefferson? Somebody was saying, hey, we really need to fight this war. But it's like, oh, but we're not going to fight until they figure out who's going to lead them. It's like, so she's like, oh, we don't know who's going to lead right now because it's very convoluted. There's
like,
a lot
I'm just going to be your
so
intern.
I'm just going to be present for the mean, time. It's like, what? What do you mean by that?
Not you crowning yourself, friend.
Yeah, there's no due process, no, voting, yada, yada. And then at the very end, they tie up President Snow, which stupid as hell. He should have been dead in the first place. But I feel like
he wanted to make a spectacle.
Yeah, but I also feel like she's just the opposite. Like, she's the different side of a coin, just like President Snow. They're literally the same character.
Maybe that's why her name is Coin.
You cooked with that. Yeah, you kind of cooked with that. Was that really the plot device that I missed?
No, but imagine. Also, hello, Nyla.
That's pretty good. I ain't gonna cap. That's pretty good, because I was thinking that she kills her and President Snow just laughs, and then basically,
because he's already done for, but he was like, yeah.
But it's like at the very end, he still got what he wanted.
Yeah,
he still sees the monster. He's just like, oh, nothing's gonna change.
Yeah, but like also he's laughing because at the end of the day, like Katniss is like.
But also, Katniss is now
a fugitive.
A fugitive? What? What? What is going on? I don't get it. She's a fugitive now, and they're like, hey, you have to be like low key for like the next 20 million years. So eventually, like you said, the epilogue.
I mean, but imagine like, say like in our time, like, well, not
code words.
Yeah, imagine if we were in a similar kind of country, and we have a dictator who runs the place and make things terrible from a lot but good for just a small sum.
You're right. You're right.
And then you go and you murk that mothercracker, right? You did what's right for the people, but you're still gonna be persecuted because it's like that group of people who was with him.
All right, true.
Yeah,
true. Okay,
it's like, if we start taking off CEOs or something.
What do you mean by that, my boy? Anyway,
I'm just saying, like, I can see why they told her to lay low, because it's like tensions are high. You're right.
And then they say that they would pardon her when times.
Yeah, but that's why they were like, hey, but like you still got to be prosecuted because you did.
So basically, they live happily ever after. They have 2 kids in the meantime, and she kind of looks at her baby, her brand new born baby, and was like, I'm gonna tell you everything mommy did when she was young, and it ends just like that. I'm just like, really? That's the end?
And that's how it ends exactly in the book too.
They're just gonna end off with like, hey, I'm gonna tell you that
why they came, why they didn't come.
A war hero / villain who was used as propaganda to fight against one oligarchy just to put up another, which I don't even know if what they have now is any better. I don't really know. They don't really explain like the next process. I'm assuming they're doing it just like a democracy would be, but who knows?
Yeah.
Like they don't really explain it. They just say like all the district leaders form together to make like a union, basically. If I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. There's like a representative from each one. I think they're gonna do.
So I don't know. I don't know if there's a.
They do that for in Avatar. Mm-hmm. Instead of having them all like separated in the way that they are, they form like one republic.
One republic.
Yeah, that.
Well, we need to watch that next. Anyway, I think we're getting there.
Yeah.
Is there any other thing you want to wrap up?
No, I am really excited though for Haymitch's movie. Haymitch, I know that it's like, oh, it's a prequel. Like Haymitch is such a good character. Like, and honestly, when you love something, that's like when you're watching Star Wars. Like, you don't need the prequels.
No,
I love them.
Prequels are fantastic.
But I know
sequels are ass.
The sequels are terrible. But there's like, when you're watching something, it's like, oh, why do I need to know the beforehand? It's like, well, sometimes when you love something so much, you want to know the beforehand.
I'm not gonna lie, that just put a sour taste in my mouth. Those last two movies really just like they do this. They do a little peek and then they go boom. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Sorry we haven't been posting our videos on a regular basis.
Just one video, friends. Listen,
your boy's been grinding on that Tarkov. Come check out the lives. Our
Nikita
social media is down below.
took away his thing though.
Got Kappa. That's what matters. But yeah. Anything else?
No, that's pretty much it. I have been posting so here. Also, on pluviiox's personal YouTube. Thank you guys for almost 600 subscribers. I need to post my vlogs, but I'm doing a little better.
Y'all need to prop me up, please. I'm begging. Anyway, all right, love y'all guys.
Bye.
Bye.